Fair Use Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. August 15th. Didn't we hurt anybody? Some of us, though, tripped over a very different snag. We clung to the claim that when drinking, we never hurt anybody but ourselves. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 79. This step seemed so simple. I identified several people whom I had harmed, but they were no longer available. Still, I was uneasy about the step and avoided conversations dealing with it. In time, I learned to investigate those steps in areas of my life which made me uncomfortable. My search revealed my parents, who had been deeply hurt by my isolation from them, my employer, who worried about my absences, my memory lapses, my temper, and the friends I had shunned without explanation. As I faced the reality of the harm I had done, step 8 took on new meaning. I am no longer uncomfortable, and I feel clean and light. Courage to Change One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, August 15th. After living in the chaos of an alcoholic relationship, it can be hard to know the difference between a minor inconvenience and a major crisis. Al-Anon's slogan, "How important is it?" helps many of us to regain some sense of proportion. When plans fall through, when unexpected bills arrive, when I am disappointed in someone's response, I can ask myself, how important is it? Most of the time, I find that what I might have viewed as a disaster is really insignificant. If I try to keep my attention on this day instead of worrying about possible future consequences, I can take my disappointment or irritation at face value and refuse to dramatize it. Because of this slogan, many days that I would once have seen as tragic are now filled with serenity and confidence. Today's reminder. Today, if I encounter an upsetting situation, I will ask myself, how important is it, before I react? I may find that it is not important enough to sacrifice my serenity. There is a quote from John Kenneth Galbraith, and it reads, "It is almost as important to know what is not serious as to know what is." Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, August 15th. Over time, not overnight. We found that we do not recover physically, mentally, or spiritually overnight. Basic text, page 28. Have you ever approached a recovery celebration with the feeling that you should be further along in your recovery than you are? Maybe you have listened to newcomers sharing in meetings, members with much less clean time, and thought, but I'm just barely beginning to understand what they're talking about. It's odd that we should come into recovery thinking that we will feel wonderful right away, or no longer have any difficulty handling life's twists and turns. We expect our physical problems to correct themselves, our thinking to become rational, and a fully developed spiritual life to manifest itself overnight. We forget that we spent years abusing our bodies, numbing our minds, and suppressing our awareness of a higher power. We cannot undo the damage in a day. We can, however, apply the next step, go to the next meeting, help the next newcomer. We heal and recover bit by bit, not overnight, but over time. Just for today, my body will heal a little, my mind will become a little clearer, and my relationship with my higher power will strengthen. Today, Emotions Anonymous, August 15th. Reflection for today. There is an old saying that laughter is the best medicine. In our emotional illness, we know how healing laughter can be. Both tears and laughter are very powerful emotional releases, and perhaps it is no accident they frequently occur together. While humor can sometimes be misused as a weapon, gentle, loving laughter can be a shield against adversity. Laughter can often restore a sense of balance and perspective to our volatile, confused emotions. Laughter can cut through otherwise impenetrable barriers in our personal relationships. Laughter can reaffirm even the faintest glimmer of optimism in a failing spirit. Learning to laugh at everyday situations around us helps us to cope. Learning to laugh at the weaknesses in ourselves helps us to grow. Meditation for today. May I realize the key to learning to laugh at all is in learning to be vulnerable, in recognizing and accepting my powerlessness. Today I will remember. I will share the humor I encountered today by telling God the joke I found and listening in my soul for the laughter. Strengthening my recovery, meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. August 15th. Promise 8. We will choose to love people who can love and be responsible for themselves. BRB, page 591. Prior to coming to ACA, we had been unconscious about a great many things. Perhaps the most painful was our unconscious choice of the people we thought we loved. As children, we wanted to love our parents, so we overlooked their dysfunction as a way to make them lovable. After all, the alternative was to see them as they really were and leave, a choice that is rarely possible for a child. As adults, we continued to make unconscious choices to love other dysfunctional people until one day we got it. Something was terribly familiar about the people we had chosen to love. It was déjà vu all over again. As we come to consciousness about our childhood experiences and do the work in ACA, we begin to love and accept our true self. Only then are we capable of having healthy relationships with others. We begin to choose people who are capable of truly loving us and who take responsibility for themselves. We are now willing to share our true self, the person we were meant to be, the one who is able to love responsibly in return. The affirmation reads, "On this day, I will examine my relationships, both past and present, to help me understand the choices I have made. I will begin to share my true self with others in my life so that I may find the love I deserve." Please share, subscribe, like, and most of all, be the you that you are created to be, to know that you are not alone, one day at a time, and that recovery is possible.